great peoples. Hey, y'all. Welcome to another episode of the Convicted to Grow podcast. I'm your girl, Coach Tressa, your favorite confidence coach, motivational speaker. And listen, y'all, this is the podcast where you talk about growth and rebuilding and resilience and transformation, whether it's in your business career or your career, your corporate career. And so, listen, I'm excited because I'm back. I am back, y'all. And y'all told y'all that I record live time, meaning that I don't be having nothing in my bag. I don't have no batch recording. But what I've learned and what I promise is that, matter of fact, probably this weekend, I'm going to do 2 to 3 recordings. So that way, for the month of May, you guys got some recordings, and that way while I'm out and doing these events, I don't have to shortchange you guys because I've had y'all coming for me. Girl, where's the podcast episode? We ain't seen nothing today. Is it gonna drop? And it's just crazy because I've been booked for the last 3 weeks of just back-to-back events. And so no excuses. No excuses. I can admit when, I ain't on my A game. And so I promise I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Even if I gotta go live, real live without the editing, I will do that. How you feeling? How are you feeling? Happy May. It is a new month. Listen, y'all, I don't know about y'all, but I get excited for a new month. And the month of May is special. Okay. It is my birthday month. And I really truly to the month of May for me is like the month of renewal, the month of new beginnings. Yes, I'm going to be celebrating. And I'm not until the 31st, but yes, it's like a moment of reflection. Really and truly. It's crazy because 2023 in May is when I had my conviction moment after dealing with, I ain't gonna say after because I was still in the grief phase or whatever, but just in my moment of stillness and anxiety and depression, dealing with grief, right? May was a moment that I had my conviction moment, just talking to God. And that's when I truly said, you know what? If I live to see 45, I promise you I'm going to be convicted to growing, convicted to change, and convicted to being a better version of myself until I become the best version of myself. And I also came up with the Convicted to Grow brand in May of 2023. I say to say is definitely to see 2 years like, wow, Tressa, look at you. Look at you. Look at you. And y'all, I'm still rocking the let me just give a shout out. Let me give a shout out real quick to Braids Connection. They was like, can you do a video? I did one yesterday on my IG, and they said the first one I did, this is my second time, but they said they got a lot of views and a lot of shares and people complimenting. So I said, well, let's work out something. Let's work out something going forward. Let's see what we can do as a partnership in terms of that. Because at the end of the day, when you have some influence, whatever that looks like, that's where the partnerships come into play. Like for real, for real. So we gonna talk. But shout out to Braids Connection for doing the hair. You know, when you got a fresh dude, you just be like, ow, you be feeling yourself. Like Deion Sanders say, when you look good, you feel good and you play good and you create good. So yeah, this is a new freshness and also it's a protective style. So I'm not saying I won't go back to how I used to get my hair done, but right now it's protecting and it's low maintenance for real. Anyway, and that's probably why I ain't put the headphones on yet because I don't want to mess up my hair. But anyway, listen, I missed you guys. I missed this. What I learned is I can't lose sight of this. I can't lose sight of coming into the podcast because the one thing about the podcast has taught me consistency, showing up. Even though I've missed some in the last several weeks, but when I was on it, I was on it. So it's taught me consistency. It's taught me creativity, thinking outside the box in terms of how I'm going to come, and especially these solo episodes, y'all. Like, it could be a lot because you doing this thing, you got to command the attention for 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes, how long you're going to do the solo, right? And then not only that, putting the reps in. So the more that I get to talk to you guys, all it's doing is strengthening my sword, which is my voice as a speaker, as a coach, as a facilitator. So, and I've had people tell me they watch the podcast, and I've actually had people check me out on my podcast to book me for things. Again, social proof is everything. So anyway, again, thank y'all for your patience. Thank y'all for always rocking with me, supporting me in everything that I do. This is just the beginning. The month of May is, like I said, it's going to be I'm claiming it. It's going to be a breakthrough, breakout May. For real, for real. I have a lot of things that I'm cooking right now. And I'm so excited what God is doing in my life. He is not an author of confusion. I love the fact that he is positioning me, equipping me, and preparing me for what my next look like. And so, yeah. But anyway, if you are on the audio side, please make sure you hop over to the YouTube side and subscribe to the channel. And if you're on the YouTube side, please go to one of your favorite streaming platforms, whether it's Amazon Music, what's the other one? Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and definitely check us out on the audio side. So, even if you can't see me on YouTube, go to the audio side, listen to it on your way to work, in the gym, wherever you at. Just support your girl, okay? So we're gonna get started. And I ain't gonna be with you long, like the pastor say. I ain't gonna be with you before long. Okay, we're gonna make this quick. Because honestly, I knew I wanted to do this. And I said one of my commitments for the month of May was to show up on this podcast and drop. And I always say, Father God, let the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in thy sight. Meaning that if I only touch one person that hears something that I may say today, allow it to resonate, allow it to confirm something, clarify something, or inspire them on something that I've said. That's one thing. And I never really have it structured down. I always move by what I'm feeling in the moment or what the idea comes to me, right? And so today we're gonna talk about, okay, first of all, how many remember Kenny Rogers? He's one of the popular one in the country industry, and he's passed away. I think he passed away in 2020 or whatnot. And one of his famous songs was I don't know the actual title of it. Oh, what's the actual title? Dang on it. I don't know the title. I should have had that prepared. But he wrote in 1980 the lyrics. And y'all, when I say this, you're gonna know. So the lyrics is know when to hold them, know when to fold them, and know when to walk away and know when to run. Matter of fact, let me get this for you. Because here's the thing. I want y'all. Okay. So the song is called The Gambler. It was written in 1978. Wow, look at that. I was born in 1978. Wow. Okay. All right. So the song was called The Gambler, and the lyrics, one of the lyrics in it, a portion of it says, you gotta know when you hold them. I ain't singing, so don't y'all come for me. You gotta know when to hold them, you know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. And then it goes on to say, you never count your money while sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. And I want y'all gonna listen to that song, right? It's called The Gambler. And people who play poker get it. If you in that poker world, you get what he's saying. But I wanted to dive a little deep into that because here's the thing. I think it also applies to life. I don't know where we're going with this. Okay, Holy Spirit, you better activate. But I think it also applies to life as well, because in life, right? Life, you have choices. You're dealt with, the hand of possibilities, opportunities, and things like that. And it's a matter of fact, it's like, what do you do with it? Right. So I wanted to break it down. This gonna probably be more of a teachable moment today. I want to really hone in on this. So I got notes, but it says, so the first line, know when to hold them. So in poker, this means recognizing when you have a strong hand and should continue betting, right? You know how it is. You ain't even looking at the people across the table because they trying to call you bluff or whatever, but you know you winning, and therefore you betting on that you're gonna win. So same thing when it applies to life, when to hold them, right? Is about identifying when to commit to your goals or passion, pushing forward when you have a good chance of success. So in life, the opportunities, the goals, the vision, and I'll tie in some things even in my own life so it can make it more relatable, especially if you're not really keen on the game of poker and what that means. But when to hold them, it's like for me, I come too far to give up on my vision, to give up on building my brand. Convicted to Grow. Convicted to Grow is a movement. It's more than just a name. It's a movement. It's a way of life. It's a mindset. Yes, it's a Convicted to Grow podcast. Yes, I have the Convicted to Grow merch. Yes, I have the Convicted to Grow coaching, right? But it's so much bigger than. It is $1 million brand. You like, what? Yeah, I said it. And it's something that I know that is going to change lives. In fact, it's changing lives now. When I get booked to speak, when I get booked to come in and talk to people from all walks of life, whether it's in corporate, whether it's I got upcoming like the Girl Scouts, whether it's healthcare professionals, HR professionals, anybody from all walks of life, from all ethnicities. The conviction to grow for me is saying, Tressa, don't you give up. You got to continue betting on you, betting on the brand. You are the brand. You are the gift. Operate in those gifts. Yes, it may be times where you challenging yourself. There may be times when your faith is tested and when your finances is tested and everything around you looking at people sideways like, are you for me or are you really not for me? What's your hidden agenda? What's your motives? Like, when you are building a brand and when you're betting on you, from the personal development side to the transformational side to even the financial side, building and growing, there are going to be times you got to take bets on you. Now, every time you bet on yourself, it may not equal to a win, right? But that's how life is. Knowing what you got dealt in your hand and saying, I'm going to bet on me. Even though I don't know, I may risk it all right now, but I'm going to bet on me. So when I look back even at myself, my life, and how I've gotten to where I'm at today, it took for me to bet on me, holding on to my vision, holding on to my purpose and my goals, to say, girl, you done come too far. You took the necessary steps. I look at all the conferences I've attended, masterminds I've attended, coaches I've hired, mentors, and all these things, joining challenges and going to, workshops myself, all for it to help me to where I am today and the woman that I'm becoming and the woman that I am evolving to. And here's the thing, I still got a lot of growth in me. So I got to bet on me. So I got to hold on when I see the possibilities. I got to hold on to this vision of mine because it's so bigger than my reality. It's so much bigger than my zip code. I got to know that, hey, this is my winning season. I am winning in a season where the odds were stacked up against me. When other people tried to count me out, I'm still standing. I'm going to walk in this season with favor, but I'm going to also walk in this season with obedience, because the obedience bursts favor, right? And so I want to tell you that don't you give up, even though listen, you may not know what the reward looked like. You may not know what that next looked like. But if you got the faith, if you got the belief, and you really truly are determined to succeed and motivated to continue to push forward, even when it's hard, even when it's challenging, even when you're doing it by yourself and you have nobody around, don't you give up. Greater is coming. More is coming. Bigger and better is coming. You got to keep going. So hold on to that dream. Hold on to that vision. Now, listen, too much is given, too much is required. You still got to execute. You still got to execute. So I want to encourage you with that. You got to keep pushing forward, because the more that you push forward, like right now, we're doing this Confident Woman Challenge. Shout out to the women that's in that challenge right now. The more you keep doing it, the more you push forward, the more you strive, guess what? That success is coming. It may not be in the way that you thought it was going to come, but I do believe, listen, I believe in God, whoever your higher power is, universal, whatever, the stars aligned or whatever that look like. But I do believe right now in this season that what I'm learning, even in my own journey of entrepreneurship, in my own journey of being a coach, being a speaker, being a community leader of my community, right? I truly believe that I'm being tested. I'm being equipped on how much I can handle. And I know he ain't going to put no more on me than I can bear. Right. And so therefore, I'm in this season of like, all right, I asked for certain things. But in order for me to get to that promise, I got to go through some things. I got to go through the process. And I got to know that, hey, this is my winning season. I really believe that right now I am maximizing every opportunity that I get. It ain't a luck thing that, hey, it just so happened. Now, granted, in the game of poker, it just be luck sometimes. You just be luck. But in things when it comes to life, I feel like when they say favor ain't fair, why not? Why not? Why isn't it fair? No, this is your time. If you got favor right now in your life, capitalize, monetize, do whatever you need to strategize, recognize that the favor that's upon you right now in this season, it is your time to shine. So now that you're in your winning season, so far, I feel like right now, even though I'm challenged at times and I get overwhelmed at times and I feel stretched at times, and I feel like, man, if I could just have the right people and the right team, right? I still got to press forward. I still got to push toward the mark. I can't give up. I won't give up. So I challenge you and I encourage you. Yeah. Know when you got to hold on to that thing. Like this is my second business, my second company. And I knew then that when I started this company out of the just in my moment, right? It wasn't like I was just sitting at the table one day and say, "Oh, I'm going to start a coaching company." No, a consulting. It wasn't even like that. I knew that I had a purpose. I knew my purpose was my voice. I knew that my voice, when I speak, right, I make an impact. I knew that when I speak, others listen because I knew that I was anointed and appointed, and I knew that what God had for me was like, listen, that is your gift. You may have several gifts right now, but in this season, I need you to utilize and operate in this gift. So I need you to hold on to what I've given you and operate it in it, right? With grace. And so, yeah. So the next one is know when to fold them. Now, in the game of poker, right? This refers to the decision to give up on your hand when it's unlikely to win, thus minimizing your losses. So, you at this poker table, right? You keep losing. And here's the thing, you want to hold on to something that you should have folded. Come on, that's a word. That's a word. Yeah, I said it. You got a hand. You got something right now that's in front of you. And here's the thing, the chances of you winning is minimum, but you're holding on that you should have folded and said, no, not this time, not this time. So a lot of times in poker, you'll see people say, they'll look at their hand, they see what they're dealt. It don't even look like a winning hand. So therefore, they like, give it back to the dealer. Like, that ain't it, right? And so same thing in life. It signifies knowing when a situation or pursuit is no longer worthwhile, allowing you to redirect your energy toward more promising endeavors. Let me say it again in case you don't hit pause. In life, it signifies knowing when a situation or pursuit is no longer worthwhile, allowing you to redirect your energy towards more promising endeavors. And here's the thing, situation, pursuit, project, people that is no longer worthwhile. So you got to redirect your energy. Sometimes you have a lot of things going on. Let me just talk to the entrepreneurs. Sometimes we're trying to do everything. We just trying to do everything until because we just want to make money. We just want to make money. And don't act like you don't, because who don't want to make money, right? When people say, "Oh no, it ain't all about the money," how you surviving out here if it ain't about the money? I'm not saying that it's all your focus is the money, because I truly believe that your passion aligned up with God's purpose equals prosperity, meaning that if you align with your purpose, with your passion, the prosperity is going to come. You're going to yield those rewards, right? We're chasing everything. We got 10, 12, 15 titles trying to chase. I see this a lot with, maybe because I've experienced it in coaching, especially my women, right? We're so hung up on all these titles. And listen, be proud of your titles. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But in the same token, people don't care about your titles. They care about your influence. They care about what did you do to transform them? How did you make them feel? But we're so protective of wanting to say, I'm this, right? Nothing wrong with that. If you proud of it, you got trained in it, absolutely, you should be proud of it. But sometimes you got to be in a season that you got to look at what you got going on, who you got going on around you, and say to yourself, is this beneficial to me right now? Is this strategically helping me right now? Dang, the mic all up in my face. Is this strategic for me right now? Right now. Is this something that needs to be in my season? All right, I'll use myself. So I am a coach. I'm a confidence coach. I'm a business coach, and I used to be a career coach. And even as a career coach, I was coaching, doing workforce development, helping, doing resumes, rewriting resumes, doing LinkedIn. Um, I also know how to do flyers, doing people's flyers as a side hustle, a speaker, podcast host, a workshop facilitator, corporate trainer, recruiter, speaker. Like, what else I'm missing? I feel like I'm missing something. And I got all these things going on. And right now, I said, in order for me to win, I gave you guys this formula before, WIN. What's important now? And what's important now for me, right? I think what's important now for me in this season is my brand, focusing on the brand, the book, Convicted to Grow. And if it ain't being convicted to grow, right now, it's not in the season for me to work on. I'm not saying right now, it's just taking up space. We only get 24 hours, right? So therefore, I can't be all over the place trying to do this, do this, do this. And what I mean by that, like for example, yes, I do have a lot going on, but every now and then somebody say, "Hey, can you do my resume? I'm gonna charge you $200 for my time." Not only that, you're gonna get a resume, a cover letter, and you get a coaching call with me, a career coaching call. Here's the thing: this right now, that's not serving me in a season right now because that's taking up time with me with building my convicted to grow coaching, my speaking brand, my consulting brand. Like that's taken away from me being great over here. So therefore, I have to know when to fold. And like that right now is not longer serving me. Right? It can also happen with people. You got to understand that as you're evolving and as you're becoming, sometimes you will outgrow people, especially if they're not adding value to you, especially if they say when the visions don't align, now is not the time. Yeah. And so sometimes you got to be like, that right there, I'm not going to continue to give energy to something. And that means friendship, partnership, relationship, anything. It has to be mutually benefited in a reciprocal way. And if you feel like that's not right now in the timing that you need, you got to know when, like, all right, right now, that's not my decision. I can't give life to that right now. Okay. Last one is know when to walk away. In poker, this means leaving the game when the odds are against you or if you're no longer enjoying it. You know how it is, especially if you're a gambler, you're playing poker and you've been winning and winning and winning and winning. You start losing, but you keep sitting at the table when you should have got up and walked away a long time ago. But for whatever reason, you just want to stay there. You see that you ain't winning. You see this is a bad hand over and over again. Just walk away and cut your losses. But no, you want to stay there, and now you deal with the consequences. Okay. So in life, it emphasizes the importance of stepping away from, let's just say, toxic situations or relationships, prioritizing your mental and emotional health. It can also mean stepping away from something that's no longer meant to serve in this season, while walking away. I remember in 2022, I walked away from corporate. Now, mind you, that was my second time going back to corporate because I had quit in 2018 and then I went back during the COVID time frame. But 2022, I made a decision to walk away and really go in all with entrepreneurship. Why? Because I was burnt out and it started affecting my health. My health was in a place of like, I don't know about you guys, but when you're burnt out and your health gets affected, the stress, the anxiety, the panic attacks, the whole it is not a good place to be in. And so I had decided I need to walk away. This wasn't no longer a winning season for me. This wasn't even a winning environment for me. I'm in a position at the highest of my career in a male dominant space, the only female woman, minority woman, and I'm doing my best at the highest, but I'm stretched too thin. And here's the thing, it wasn't that no one cared. It was just that, hey, you're doing a good job. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep making us money. Keep making us money. Keep doing all these things. And the demands was, it wasn't that I felt like I couldn't handle it. It was just that, Tressa, if you do not do what you need to do, you're going to run yourself raggedy. And you're no longer going to be able to create and live the life that you know you deserve. So while I'm telling you this is that know when to walk away. Like literally shift and pivot. Maybe you are on a job right now that you know it is. And here's the thing about that, because I'm different now than I was a couple years ago when I'd be like, yeah, girl, take that leap of faith. Well, the eggs is $18. Prices are going up. And so I would say be smart when just making that hasty move, right? You want to make sure you got your ducks in a row. But I would say this is that when it's time to walk away, you gonna know this is my time to walk away. I can no longer be on this job that is hindering me and keeping me and delaying me from something greater that I always have visions about doing. It could be a friendship or a relationship. It could be the relationship is so toxic where you're like, man, I forgot who I was. I forgot my worth. It could be in a friendship where you're like, man, I'm not even happy. I'm not even myself. I can't even be myself around this person. In fact, I don't feel like I deserve to be treated like this. It's like, why am I being treated in a way where you want to look at me this certain way? Like, why am I being treated on something that I know I deserve more than, and my value is worth more than? So you have to tell yourself, is this my season to walk away? So pretty much in essence, The concepts in these poker highlights pretty much is like strategic decision making. That's pretty much what it is. So it's not just in a game, it's in everyday life. And so I will hopefully this message or whatever, the metaphor, kind of gave you some awareness. And so I just want to encourage you that everybody's life is different. That's why it is important not to compare. You just never know what other people deal with, what they've been through, what they've endured, or what they're going through right now. Your life, you are the author of your life in terms of seeing every chapter of your life from each year with the age or from each status. Maybe it's from single to married or from having qualified change of status, having a baby. That's a new chapter. Moving to a new city, that's a new chapter. Joining the military, that's a new chapter. Quitting a job, that's a new chapter. Going to college, that's a new chapter. Going all in with your entrepreneurship journey, that's a new chapter. And so every chapter has a purpose. There are probably some chapters in your life where you feel like you just wanted to overlook and just not even have to relive or rethink that chapter. I know I do. There are some chapters I'm like, I don't even want it. Those was just. And so, regardless of what chapter you are in your life, know when to hold them, know when to fold them, and know when to walk away. Yeah. And here's the thing: the most important thing that you can hold on to and protect is your peace and your energy and your vision and your heart. Those are going to be important because if you're trying to thrive, and yeah, we in 2025, but it's beyond the 2025 year. You're trying to thrive in life. You're trying to thrive in career and in your business. You see yourself so much greater than. You see yourself wanting so much more in life. Maybe you're in your single season. You want to be married one day, right? Maybe you are already married and you just want to have that, continue to have that continuous blissful marriage and keeping that together. Maybe you are a single mother and you just want so much more for you and your kids, and it's tough, it's challenging. Maybe you are in a corporate job where you're so burnt out you can't quit because financially won't make sense, and you really want to start this business but you have no support, you don't know who to talk to. In fact, your trust levels are very thin, and so therefore you just kind of bottle everything that you're going through and just suffer in silence. Maybe you're at an age in your life you just look back and you say, wow, here I am at the age of such and such, right? I've seen people go, I've seen people die, I've seen just a lot of things have happened, and here I am at this age of mine, and I'm not fulfilling my purpose. I don't think I have really truly stepped into my purpose. I'm not operating my gifts. And so therefore discouragement settles in, the what ifs settles in. And so I want to tell you that if you hold on to that peace, that energy, especially your vision, what you got inside of you, if it's only could be unleashed to the world, if only you can just be your authentic self with boldness and confidence and really truly show up for yourself so you can have a thriving life. You can give back. You can be prosperous financially, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. You have all these things, right? You got something worth holding on to. And if it's not doing any of those things I just mentioned, you either gonna have to fold them and say, I can no longer entertain this in my energy or entertain this in my path or my growth journey, or simply walk away. Deuces, deuces. Walking away is not easy. Walking away can be hard. It can be challenging. It'll make you second guess yourself like, did I do the right thing? Did I really do the right thing by walking away from this project, from this job, from this person? Did I really do the right thing? And what I've learned that is that if you are a believer, I know for me, God makes no mistakes. Pray about something. You're like, God, show me how. Show me how I can maneuver in this journey of grief or this journey of growth or this journey of entrepreneurship, this journey of finding myself, this journey of loving myself again. Show me who I need to connect to. And if people are not for me in this season, Lord, because you heard conversations that I didn't hear, you knew people's hidden motives and agendas that I didn't know about, then God, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with certain people being removed out my life. I don't like it, but I got to lean on your understanding. I got to believe that what you have for me, you know, the plans you have for me, the plans to give me a hope and a future and to prosper me and not to harm me. I can't question why certain things don't work out. I can't question why this project or this plan or this idea didn't get executed, worked out. Maybe sometimes the things that we want in life, right? Or a person that we want in life, maybe in the longer run is only going to harm us. And I'm not talking about a physical harm. I'm talking about harm us in terms of that bigger plan that God has for us. So when you look at what you got going on right now in your life and knowing what you got to really hold on to that's most important to you right now, and knowing, okay, I got to fold and not give energy to this because it don't look like a situation, or simply just walking away. Trust yourself. Don't beat yourself up over any decision that you make. You have discernment for a reason. You have intuition for a reason. Trust it. With that being said, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Hopefully, this message resonated with you. And if it did, please make some comments and make sure you share the episode. Listen, I'm trying to grow. And I tell people all the time, listen, you are your biggest promoter. If you ain't promoting yourself, how you expect other people to promote you? So, and you got to do it with confidence. Simply as that. And listen, if you would like to be a part of the Convicted to Grow Circle community, go into the description. The link is there. And I would love for you to be a part. It is a private access community only, weekly coaching, strategy coaching. You get other people in there, collaborate, network, and things like that. We're currently doing a matter of fact, separate from the community, I'm doing a 21-day confident woman challenge just for my women only, because a lot of times with women, we shrink ourselves, we dim our lights, we don't know how to speak up for ourselves, we don't know how to shine, we don't know how to be confident in talking about ourselves without it seeming like it's bragging or being cocky. No, you got to show and be bold with it. And so I'm so proud of the ladies that's in there. We're on day 19, and I am going to do another one June 9th. It's going to be the Confident Woman Rebuild Experience. Of course, you would get the 21-day challenge, but it's going to be so much more. And so if you would like to be a part of that and get on the wait list now, the description is also in the link is also in the description, excuse me. And so what I always say, it's been different, y'all, because I mean, see, like this, I feel like hopefully my sound was good. And because I'm not recording this over, I may not even edit none of this. Y'all may get everything, the words jumping up and everything. Because here's the thing. Again, I tell the women I coach, we strive for perfection, and striving for perfection will hold us and delay us even longer from really truly executing. I'm already behind today. So if I sit here and it's going to take me another hour to edit because I got to make sure every word is correct and take the pauses and all this stuff out, it's going to delay it even further. And I may get sidetracked. You may not get into next week. So you may get the rawness of this episode. So if it's anything I said, any words jumbled up, listen, charge it to my mind and not my heart. And as I always say, life is a journey. Life is priceless, and to some, life is short. But while you here on God's green earth, you recognize who you are. Recognize your potential. Recognize your greatness. Recognize that you got a purpose to finish what you started. Don't just be convicted to growing, but be committed to growing. Yes, growth is a daily thing, but it's going to start with you understanding and recognizing that every day I put a step forward to being a better version of myself, I become the best version of myself. Be eager to learn. Be eager to wanting to show up and win and being you, because others are counting on you, whether it's your family or friends, but the world is counting on you. You have an impact. And so don't you cheat on your gift. And with that being said, I love you guys and take care. And I'll see y'all next week.